what's it like in here today?
It's getting really warm.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Getting hotter and hotter. That's it. Hotter and hotter. But notice what happens. Look.
So what's going to happen next? You're going to stay tuned and you're going to find out. This is a really special video because someone asked me in the comment section of a previous video to create this skit. So it's my pleasure to deliver it now. It's about chaining suggestions. So this week's tutorial, after the fun hypnosis video you're going to see, is about chaining suggestions. So stay tuned, not just for the fun stuff, but to find out what chaining suggestions really means. See you inside. Hi there, my name is Turan. I'm a hypnotist and clinical hypnotherapist, and every week I show you some lovely street hypnosis and then break that down into some sort of tutorial fashion to discuss aspects of what you saw out on the streets. This skit is brought to you by Isaac B5562. He suggested this in a previous video. You can see that video up here, and you can read the comments from that video where we discussed how best to do this skit, and it was a great idea because it's about chaining suggestions. So I'm going to talk about what chaining suggestions is and what it means after you see this clip, because we're going to go straight into this clip. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget to click the subscribe button and that bell notification button next to the subscribe button so you get notified every time a new video comes out from myself. I really appreciate all your support and help, and it helps this channel grow if you do click that subscribe button and the bell notification button as well. And don't forget, leave a comment just like Isaac B5562. If you leave a comment in the comment suggestion below, maybe it's a suggestion for a new skit, or maybe it's just a question about something you saw that I didn't cover off, because I don't cover off everything about this video, just key aspects of it. Leave a comment in the comment section below, because I'll either point you to a previous video, or if I've never discussed that section before, I'll talk about it in a new video just for you, and you might even get a name drop. So without further ado, let's watch this video and then stay tuned for the tutorial afterwards.
But in a minute, I'm going to, every time you see me touching my nose, I'm going to give you a hat. And every time you see me touching my nose, you're going to change the position of your hat from front to back. Every time you see me touching my nose, you're going to change the position of the hat from front to back. Now, when the hat is at the front, it's going to feel like this place is getting really hot, really hot, really hot. You're going to really be sweating. You're going to feel how hot it is, and you're going to act like you have to fan yourself because it's going to be so hot. But when you change the hat to the other position, the place is going to get really cold. It's going to start to shiver. It's going to get so cold. Nod your head that you understand. When the hat's pointing forward, you're really hot. When the hat's pointing back, it'll be really, really cold. Nod your head, you understand. And every time I touch my nose, you'll change the position of that hat. So 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. There you go. Do you like that hat? Oh, what's it like in here today?
It's getting really warm.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Getting hotter and hotter. That's it. Hotter and hotter. But notice what happens. Look. Is it still very hot? What's it feel like now?
It's really cold.
It is really cold. Oh, there you go. Put that hat on. Put that hat on. There you go. Oh, getting colder and colder. That's it. But
Why is it warm again?
it is really hot, isn't it? It's getting really hot. Yeah, really hot, really hot. Is it hot? No? Getting cold? Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
And sleep now, way down, deeper, 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 relax. The deeper you go, the more relaxed you feel, the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you go. That little skit was suggested to me by someone on YouTube, so I finally got around. He's been hounding me for about 6 months, probably more, so we've done that skit.
So welcome back. Wasn't she a wonderful subject, and wasn't that a cool skit? Now, because I'm putting this skit up first, you haven't actually seen the induction of this wonderful subject, so please do check the description section of this video out into the future, because as I add new videos to this collection about this subject, I'll be adding links in each of the description sections so you can interlink all the videos together. I always do that with all the videos I release, so make sure you read the description section and find out where the other videos are. So let's talk about chaining suggestions. That's what this skit really was about. It's about compounding together several skits into one skit. I've done other skits with the hat before, and that's what prompted Isaac B5562 to suggest this skit. I've done skits where they will turn their hat backwards and feel very uncomfortable until the hat is turned the correct way. But this time I was using a trigger, in this case touching my nose, to get them to move the hat in another direction. And equally, as that hat was in one position, they felt very cold, and when it was in the other position, they felt very hot. So two sort of separate skits, two separate sets of suggestions chained together to make one really cool skit. So here are some do's and don'ts about this skit. First of all, she had a wig on, and it didn't really suit me putting the hat on her head. As you saw during that skit, her hat fell off. So keep in mind when you're performing any skit, if you have a prop, is that prop suitable for the subject that you're working with? But it went okay, so just a minor thing to keep in mind rather than definitely never do it. Another thing to critically analyze this skit was the fact that the trigger I was using is every time I touch my nose, you will change the direction of your hat. At times she was looking away and I had to say, look at me, before I could touch my nose. So if I had said every time I click my fingers or every time I smack my hands, a more audible trigger, it might have been easier and better to do. But again, these are just minor criticisms in the scale of things, because again, the skit went very well. And she was a good subject. Now you'll see the induction, you'll see other skits over time. As I say, check the description section out into the future. But she did very well. She immediately had that reaction of feeling warm and sort of sweating and sort of very hot. And then as soon as she turned her hat, she identified that the environment was very cold. I think the reason she was looking away and not paying attention to me touching my nose at times was because she was looking around and saying, why is everybody else not feeling hot as well? So I think that skit, again, in the context, went really well. My final observation on this skit was, because of the complexity, i.e. when I touch my nose, your hat will turn round. When the hat's facing forward, you feel warm. When the hat's facing back, you feel cold. It's quite a series of steps for me as the hypnotist to remember, in other words, chaining several things together. And it can be quite of an overload for someone to listen to. Now, it worked perfectly. So again, in terms of this criticism, it's just a minor criticism, but my feedback on this would be, when you're out in the street, you want something fast and sharp and pacey. Remember, when you're doing street hypnosis, you're not just hypnotizing the girl that you saw in front of the camera, but there's several of her friends. There was about 3 or 4 in this situation, and a few passers-by were looking on. And you don't want them to lose track of what the suggestion is, otherwise they'll get bored or they'll get confused as to what she's doing, why she's feeling cold. I can just see all I heard him say was moving the hat backwards and forwards. So there's a lot going on with street hypnosis that you might not think about at first glance. So keeping the suggestion short and sweet. When you wake up, your feet are stuck to the floor.
Yeah. Try and move now.
Nice, simple, straightforward. That's why it's a very popular one that I do, and it's a very experiential one for the individual to experience. And the audience gets a good laugh because they see that person not being able to move. Whereas this one took a long time. If you look back at the video, nearly half of that time in that video was taken up by creating the suggestion and making sure that she accepted and understood the suggestion. It's not to say that it's too long, that the unconscious mind couldn't accept all those suggestions. The unconscious mind is so powerful, you could create a suggestion that lasts half an hour. In fact, in a therapeutic setting, which is the majority of the work I do in hypnosis, suggestions are created over a long extended period to really belt and braces the suggestion to make sure it's accepted 100%. In street hypnosis, you want to be fast paced, and sometimes, as you've seen in this channel, skits don't always work perfectly, and that's fine because you move on to another skit and you do something else and you do something else. In a therapeutic setting, you're working on one focused thing, maybe getting someone to stop smoking, getting someone to lose weight, so you want to reinforce and take your time. But out in the street, you want to be fast paced, you want to be quick. Another situation where chaining suggestions would be good would be definitely in a stage show setting. Now you can do this out in the street. There's no difference between stage show and street hypnosis. Again, it's just the environment where you've got a fixed audience watching for a long time. So I can create one suggestion, play it standalone. Every time I touch my nose, you move your hat forwards, move your hat back every time I touch my nose again. And then maybe 10, 12 minutes later, because the audience is still there, they haven't wandered off, unlike street hypnosis where you've got passers-by just glancing at one suggestion here or there, or a short audience of 1 or 2 people, a group of friends of the subject being hypnotized. In a stage show, you've got a large audience, you've got a fixed show time. So you can create a suggestion right up front, just moving the hat, and then later on create a separate suggestion chained to the previous one that says every time the hat's pointing backwards, you feel cold. Every time it's pointing forwards, you feel hot. So this suggestion and the elongation of that suggestion is probably more appropriate for a stage show setting, but be assured there's no differences in the difference between hypnosis for stage and hypnosis for street. They're all the same. It's just the audience size maybe and the length of the performance would be quite different in a stage versus the street hypnosis. So I hope you find all that useful. I hope you enjoyed that skit. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you give it a like, and don't forget, click the subscribe button and that bell notification button next to the subscribe button so you get notified every time a new video comes out. And as you see, I've name dropped Isaac B5562 several times because he created and suggested this lovely suggestion. Like I say, check out the video where he made that comment, and I'll put it up on the end screen so you can see that coming up shortly and click straight through to it. But if you have a comment, if you have a suggestion, please leave it in the comment section below. I really love reading your comments, and I love getting back to your comments, and if you have a good suggestion that can develop into a video, I'll do that for you. So in the meantime, have a good week, and see you next week.